So the first thing to understand with LLCs versus corporations is that these are very, very similar creatures. They're both different types of companies. And so when you begin operating as a business, the objective is to separate your business activities from your personal life. And the solution that we deliver is to form some type of company or corporate structure around your business. The question, depending on your personal needs, your tax advisor or your CPA's recommendations, is do we go down the path of a limited liability company and form an LLC, or do we go down the path of a corporation and incorporate either an S corporation or a subchapter C corporation? These all have different tax impacts, and the CPA or tax advisor is really the best team member to address those based on your particular set of circumstances. But one key distinction that you can make between an LLC and an S corporation or a C corporation is, for instance, for tax purposes, your limited liability company or your LLC can make an election to be taxed either as an S corporation or a partnership. Whereas if you incorporate as an S corporation, you're automatically taxed as an S corporation. So when you're evaluating what's right for your business, the takeaway is it's really important to get with your team advisors, your legal advisors, your tax advisors, and make sure the right advice and right decisions are being made based on your particular set of circumstances. So when we're structuring for a company, we are taking into account both your risk for liability and mitigating that risk, as well as helping you construct the most tax efficient organization as possible. And so that might include an analysis of whether a limited liability company is right for your needs or whether a corporation is right for your needs. It might also take into account how many companies or corporations that you need to organize or incorporate. For instance, you might own a dental practice and operate your dental practice out of your professional limited liability company or your PLLC. But then as an owner and operator of that dental practice, you may also own the commercial real estate, the building in which that dental practice resides and operates. And so quite often we help clients structure a separate company, a real estate holding company that would own the building and effectively serve as the landlord that leases the operating space to the operating dentist company as the tenant. And so there's considerations like that come into play in addition to what is the right company for tax purposes. And that's where we really like to loop our CPA or tax advisory team that's working with our client into the conversation so that you get perspectives from multiple angles and that you as the business owner are able to make the best decision possible. Yeah, so changing a corporate structure is not easy, but it can be done. And oftentimes it's done for a particular purpose. So it might be done in anticipation of a merger acquisition transaction. You might be joint venturing with another company. There might be a reason to reorg or redesign the company structure there. You might be keeping the business in-house completely. It might be yours. You might own it 100%. And you might be deciding to expand operations to go to a different location, a different venue, a different state. There might be some need for corporate restructuring that comes into play there. Another reason that comes into play quite often is if there's a change in the ownership structure. If we go from being, for instance, a sole proprietorship or owned by only one person to, as part of a succession planning strategy, inviting additional owners to the table, there might be reason to reevaluate your corporate structure and change some things at that time. So the time is really relative to you, the business owner, your company, your particular set of circumstances. And while it's not easy, it can be done, but it does require the careful guidance and advice of a team of professionals around you to help support your business to make that transition as needed. So if you're a business owner and you're thinking about what structure might be right for you, and you need some help deciding whether it's a limited liability company or an S corporation, whether to structure a real estate holding company or a management company, It's not something that you should do alone. You should feel free to reach out to our team at NC Planning. We have team members standing by, and we would love to help.